we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. We don't need no more. Even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm. Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon.
Hello, welcome to a new week. I think that every place should be able to declare autumn at a different time, like the time that works for them, that makes sense for where they live. I personally declare September 1st to be autumn here because the geese are flying south, the leaves are starting to change on the trees, the air has that crisp autumn air. There's benefits to living far north because autumn comes early. It's my favorite season. I love that. I don't love it so much when everywhere else is getting into autumn and our trees are bare and it's like pretty much winter season already, but this time of year it's my favorite. So welcome to the first autumnal vlog, which there will be a number of until the leaves are all gone and the snow starts to come. Because it is now autumn in my mind, I'm thinking a lot about the new school year, especially since we started our homeschool year last week. And this week I really want to focus on creating a curriculum for myself. So last year I made my own DIY literature degree. I shared that over on my booktube channel. I'm going to be working on my year 2 outline for that this week, and then I'm going to be sharing it on booktube in the next couple weeks. I don't have an exact date yet. But I also this year want to focus on a couple other areas of learning as well. To be honest, last year's DIY literature degree did not go super great. I didn't get a lot of stuff done that I wanted, but we moved and life was chaos. So I'm giving myself a little bit of grace. I can totally pick the topics that I chose for year 1 another time as well, but there's a bunch of things that interest me, so I'll probably do different ones for this next year and then maybe pick some of those ones again. If you need a full explanation, there's a whole video sharing my format for that on my booktube channel. I can leave that linked below. So other than the literature area, which I will definitely be doing, one of my goals is going to be to start watercoloring. I decided this morning. The 11-year-old is doing the grade 5 language arts curriculum from The Good and the Beautiful, and they have watercolors. Today was his first day and he has always hated art and he loved it. He spent like an hour and a half working on his picture. It's not done yet. They have like 5 different steps and I think he finished like 2 of them, but he's been loving it. And it reminded me that I have a book, which I think maybe I left downstairs. I'll share it yet. It's like Draw With Me, Watercolor With Me in the Forest, I think is the one I have. And I've never used it, and I should. So I would like to do that this year. I would also like to pick a topic to study. I have done this before and I studied like espionage, specifically like women spies, but I didn't like do much with that. I definitely could have done more. I'm tempted to do that again, but because I kind of did it before, I'm trying to think of something else. The problem I usually find with this is there's too many options. You know, if I had 5 options, I could pick one. But because I have 500, I get overwhelmed. So I'm going to, by the end of this week, hopefully have my one picked out. If not, reduce it down to a few. If you guys have topics of interest, maybe I'll already know by the end of this video, but I would love to hear, like, what are things that you have researched or would like to research? What are some topics that intrigue you? Yeah, I'm going to think about that a bit. I'm going to write a few different ideas, maybe ask some people in the family some ideas, and then see if there's like one that really calls to me. So I'm feeling like that would probably be like a history, somehow related to history. And then I've got the watercolor, and then I've got the literature degree. And then another thing I want to do is continue my church history learning. I've been going through a book, which I haven't read in a few months. So I should say I was going through church history in plain language. I got to page 168, and then, like I said, we moved and I put all of my like learning on hold, but I want to pick this back up, and I would like to make a bit of a timeline or some notes to go with it instead of just tabbing things. I want to find some notebooks and write down what I'm learning. So that's kind of my big goal for the week. I'm very tired today. Someone in our family has been sick and I haven't been sleeping, and I need to go back to the pharmacy later today to get a prescription and hopefully sleep tonight, and then I'll wake up feeling great tomorrow and ready to figure out my learning. I should also talk about what I'm reading, but I think my books are downstairs. So I'm finishing a couple books and starting a couple books this week as well.
Full stop. Can't believe I live in your thoughts. I think about you all the time, morning, evening, and midnight. Such a wonderful delight. Forgo, give up everything that
Of course, there's a plane taking off right now. Hello, welcome to Leduc. Yeah, the plane's right overhead. I'm here for the afternoon. I'll just wait till he's done. Okay, he's mostly gone. I'm here for the afternoon, and I wanted to try out a coffee shop because I am really backed up on work stuff. So I brought a bag of books that I need to read a chapter of a bunch of them for a Patreon video. And then I'm also starting my Agatha Christie for the month for another Patreon video. So brought my bag of 6 different books. I'm going to see how much I can get read in approximately an hour. I found a coffee shop online that looks really cute. It's called The Nook. If I can find my way there, we're going to give it a try. Get a hot chocolate. Currently deciding between white and dark, normal, whatever regular hot chocolate is. And then do I do almond milk, which I usually do. They also have a lactose-free milk, which can be hit and miss. Can hurt my stomach. I might just do almond. Safer that way. So let's go check this place out. Hopefully there's space. Should be. Get some reading done. Yeah, I'm looking forward to checking this out. I've never been to Leduc before. It looks like a pretty little city.
I'd give it all up now just to be with you somehow. Unexpected love was found. You're the rose in a garden, and it shows if I'm honest. You're the leaves in mid-August, and I've come out here to say that I love you. Ooh, ooh, you, ooh, ooh. So slow, hold you in my arms, won't let go. The world around could pass us by, a thunderstorm, a lightning strike, as we hold each other tight. You're the rose in a garden.
Okay, the Nook coffee shop. Cute little place. Their hot chocolate, not my favorite. In my defense, I thought they had a white hot chocolate, but then their screen didn't show that they did, so I panicked and just bought a regular one. Maybe the white one's better. I still have half of it left. It's been over an hour. So, yeah. But I got all the reading that I needed to get done before doing some filming. So, very productive. And I got back half an hour early. So I'm going to find a spot to sit because it's hot in the vehicle, but it's not really hot outside. but it's beautiful out there.
Blue sky come bearing up before us. We hang on the hem of your gown. Blue sky come, promise not to leave us. Tarry not.
Since I went to the library yesterday, I thought I would show you a little library haul. So we've got, I really struggle with this because I just thought it was like the Secret Book and Scone Society, but the comma is really throwing me off. The Secret Book and Scone Society. That makes me more confused as to like what the book is about. This, I think, is a cozy mystery. I talked about it a little bit in my cozy mystery book recommendation video, and then I mentioned it as one on my TBR. I was told that I think it's chapter 6. A person should just skip. There's some kind of scene that I'll just want to skip, and it doesn't affect the book. But I've heard good things about this book, so give that a try. And I think Ellery Adams has a few different cozy mystery series. I don't know if this is the only series that's any good or if the other ones are, but I might look into that. Probably gonna read this during my Cozy Cottage readathon. Then The Lady and the Highwayman. Where did I just hear about this? Somebody was just talking about it in a video. Amy. Amy was just talking about it. And it's a Victorian mystery, a Victorian romance that pits author against author. I don't remember, but something that she had said in her video made it sound interesting, so I got that. Then Woven by Angie Smith, Understanding the Bible as One Seamless Story. I read this years ago via ebook when I was up, when the 4-year-old was a baby, when I was up with her in the middle of the night, and I remember really enjoying it, but also it was like a time period where I didn't retain a lot, or like I don't really trust my judgment from that time, so I wanted to give it a try, read it again. So it is the retelling of the Bible story, sharing how the Bible is one big story. And what I appreciate, here's a like actual visual diagram of it. She has a sense of humor that I do not think will be for everyone, but from what I remember, either it was my like middle of the night brain, or maybe I was actually correct. Her humor seemed to be the kind of humor that works for me. Like I often, when I'm reading the Bible, I get distracted by like really pointless questions, but all of a sudden like little things I'm like, but, and I can't even think of an example. And I just, from what I remember reading this, she seemed to kind of be on the same wavelength as me. But like I said, I don't remember, so want to reread that. And then we got the new late fall graphic novel. These have some of the best graphic novel illustrations. So this is book 3. We were on hold forever for this, so I'm excited to have it come in. And I had to get a summary from the 11-year-old because I didn't remember what happened at the end of book 2. But now we are in the dark times, so I want to read that one as well. And then while I'm here, I found my watercolor book that I kind of want to work through, and I think she has an ocean one now, and I can't remember if there was another one. This is very much laid out like the Good and the Beautiful watercolor because it has the sketch of the different projects on the page, and I'm not usually the kind of person that can work in a workbook like this. Like normally I would read this and I would have a sketchbook myself that I would do it in, which can work for something like this, but then when you have the actual picture sketched out, that makes it harder. So I was thinking I would actually try to do it in here. My biggest fear is like, what if I'm terrible at it and then this looks terrible and then I've ruined this book? That, yeah, I struggle with that. And you can't just like trace a watercolor. So I'm gonna figure that out. But Acorns is pretty boring. Caterpillar, there's some pretty cool things throughout. And then she teaches you like different techniques. Tortoise. Oh yeah, the bluebird. Hummingbird's cute, but like that one is probably my favorite. So this is something that I would like to work through. Oh, the chickadee, that's really cute too. I'm all about the birds. Oh, cabin. So this is gonna be part of my curriculum for the year. Maybe I can work through this entire book. We'll see. Okay, I'm getting ready to film a couple of book videos, hence all the books stacked there. But I wanted to share about a couple other things I want to add into my own curriculum. I need to write this out yet and possibly like create a schedule for myself or whatever will work. And I just realized I like really match my bedding. Can you guess what my favorite color is? One thing I want to do is read more poetry. I have a couple of these books that are edited by Jane McMorland Hunter. This one is a nature poem for every day of the year. This one I have not read all the way through, and I would like to continue. I love poetry, but it can be hard to make time for it, and so I just need to have this out and to read it every day, even if I'm not reading it on the date that it says I want to be reading it. I also really like the ones by Ali Asiri, and I would love to get Jane McMorland Hunter has nature writing for every day of the year, I think, which are, I think, more like essays. I don't know. I should check to see if my local library has it, or else I hopefully will buy that one eventually, but wanted to finish reading through this. So this will be probably my primary poetry for the year. I also have a Emily Dickinson complete works that I'm slowly making my way through, and Robert Frost, but I think this one will be my focus. And then I want to do some like homeschooling related learning. So I have started the Dyslexic Advantage, Unlocking the Hidden Potential of the Dyslexic Brain. And this is all about how dyslexics think different and how that's not necessarily a negative thing. The things that they're better at because of how their brain works. And I think this is really good for at least one of my kids, possibly two. My 11-year-old definitely has some major struggles. I think we're past the actual reading struggles right now, and our main struggles are more like dysgraphia. So my motivation to read this has kind of gone down at this point. But this is definitely possibly also for my 6-year-old. So I do want to work through this. It just might be kind of slow because my motivation is lacking a little bit there. If anyone has any good resources, books, or anything for dysgraphia, please let me know. And I don't know if dysgraphia is like, I can't remember, it's been a while since I looked it up, but our major struggles are letter formation, like remembering how to write each letter every time, as well as being able to write the thoughts that you're thinking. So like for school, I often, if it's something that the 11-year-old has to think up in his mind, I will scribe it for him. If it's something he can copy, I'll get him to do that so he can practice it. But it's not working two different areas. And then I have 2 Charlotte Mason books. So we really went hard on the Charlotte Mason style in the spring. It was working really well, but made some changes for this school year. So I don't know how much I'm gonna actually take out of these, but I still want to read them. So I am almost done. I have a little bit left of home education, and these are the annotated edition that are available on Amazon. So they have volume 1, and I think this is volume 6, A Philosophy of Education. I haven't started this one. This I think is for like up to age 9 generally, and this is kind of for older. That was my understanding. So I thought I would just finish this and then go on to volume 6 and see. So yeah, that's a little bit more what I want to add into my curriculum for the year. Now I have a couple of videos to edit or to film. Yeah, like stacks of books. And then I need to go to Costco. We are hosting some friends this weekend, so I have a bunch of food to buy, and I'm gonna be prepping that in the next couple of days. Apparently this is just the season where I break out all my green stuff and match with my bedding. Welcome to the end of the week. I could not talk to the camera yesterday. I was busy, anxious. It's been quite the week. There was a lot going on this week, and I really needed to be doing most of it. So it was just one of those weeks where you gotta survive, but it was interesting. I have been reading Destination Unknown for my Agatha Christie book club. I've been filming this afternoon more books on the bed, and I need to film a little catch up as to where I'm at here right away. But this quote that I highlighted in here: "One must accommodate oneself with the good humor. That is what I say, however displeasing it is to have one's plans altered." It was fitting that I was reading this week, because I've been thinking about this a lot, especially ever since the spring when we were trying to get this house. And I feel like, I don't know if it's just us, but every time we buy a house, things feel like they're gonna fall apart. There was just like things that were like tight deadlines that wasn't sure if we were gonna make, and we were potentially gonna like lose our spot on the house and it could go to someone else. And I remember thinking back then in April that whatever journey God decides to take us on here, he has a plan. Like maybe he has someone he wants us to talk to through this, like someone that we wouldn't have talked to if things went smoothly or whatever. And with the craziness of the bus route last week and at the beginning of this week, I have ended up meeting people that I wouldn't have met for a while at least. It kind of sped that up, and I'm trying to be okay with seasons where things are not going the way I want them to or I think they should go, and trying to see what God has in store for that. Like, is it someone I should be meeting? Is it, I don't know, like what is he, why is he orchestrating things the way he is? And trying to live more aware. And that has been a definite positive to this last week. Even yesterday, I was feeling so frazzled, and not frazzled, just overwhelmed, feeling like the burnout was just really close. Just not necessarily about anything in particular, just feeling so exhausted, mentally and physically. And there was a meet and greet thing at the school that I really didn't want to go to, but I was like, okay, I want to get to know people, etc. Then when I was there, I was like, this is pointless, why are we even there? And as we were leaving, I ended up meeting someone from our neighborhood that has a kid in my first graders class. And so I was like, okay, this is why I was supposed to come. This is what I was here for. And it can be so helpful. Like, you don't always get to see that, but I want to live more aware that even if I'm not seeing the reason, that God has one. Yeah, so I have not finished figuring out my curriculum for myself. When I made a plan in the spring and summer for a spring and summer curriculum, I wrote up a like full-on table checklist for myself. I have not done that yet. I might do that. I was thinking a little bit as to like why is it that homeschool moms seem to mainly be the ones that do this? And I came up with two ideas. I think the obvious one is we love to learn. We see what our kids are learning, like we just want to like embrace that ourselves, be a part of it, learn things they're learning and other things for ourselves. Definitely part of it. The other thing that really hit me this week is, you know, the idea of like you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Well, I have 4 kids ranging from the ages of 4 to 14, plus Jared in the house. Those are the people that I spend, those are my 5 people, which means my average age is pretty low, and my youngest 2 have some major speech delays and issues. And there have been multiple times where I have found myself saying words wrong, or like just the way they say words, not intentionally. Like there was a long time where the one would say got for forgot, and like I found myself saying that once completely by accident, meaning forgot. And they both have issues with leaving the S off of the beginning of a word, and I don't know which word I was trying to say. Was it just spoon? And I called it a poon, not on purpose. Like, so I think that the idea of creating a curriculum for myself helps me remember that I'm not, you know, like 5, that I can learn, and I'm not as dumb as I feel some days when all of a sudden some of the quirks are rubbing off and you find yourself acting like a 4 or 6-year-old with like a speech problem. Yeah, I think that's definitely part of it. So I do want to create a bit more of like an actual schedule for myself that will hopefully come in the next couple of weeks, just because I know this weekend is going to be really busy hanging out with friends. So if you guys do things for yourself, I still want a topic. I know over on BookTube, a couple people were doing Red September, where they were learning about like communism and communist countries and reading books about that. That could definitely be a topic that I go with. I could pick a place and learn about a place. My problem is always there's too many ideas. Yeah, I would love to hear what you guys are learning, because maybe that will inspire me. I should just write a list. I think I said this at the beginning of the video. I just need to write a list of all the things that interest me and just pick one for now and know that I can get to another one another time. I know I've done that before. Lately, I've mentioned this in at least 1 or 2 videos in the last while. I've been watching a lot of Carrie Cakes, and so I'm more interested in South Korea than I've ever been, but I'm not a Korean pop person like a lot of people are, so I don't know if I care to like maybe just learn about the country a little bit. Would be kind of cool, but not as much as some people really like it. I don't know. Let me know what you guys like to learn about. Thanks for joining me for this week, and I will see you guys again next week.